President Biden took the oath, the presidential oath of office, just before 11 yesterday, and it wasn't just his inaugural speech that spoke volumes. A body language expert is joining us now, Leo Cardenas. Good morning. We want to talk a little bit more about this. Thank you for taking the time to be with us this morning. We want to start with the moment that he made his way to the podium. When he made his way to the podium, what did that tell you?
Well, you could see the confidence in his shoulders. I mean, he was definitely ready to take that step down the stairs into the podium. There was confidence. He was speedy. He was not slow. He didn't stumble at all. That's what I was looking for, and I wanted to see his face. He was wearing a mask, and you could see in his eyes the real happiness. You can actually see that happening even though he's wearing a mask.
And what about when he started giving his speech?
That's the one that I was looking for the most, because he was actually a very confident-looking president to be, right? And one of the things that I wanted to see is how he was going to be addressing the people at home. And one of the things that I noticed is that he was using his hand quite a bit throughout his speech to indicate that his thoughts are actually congruent with what he's saying. His body language was confident. At some point, he started sounding or looking more like a disappointed grandfather. And that was when he was talking about the riots and the things that had happened, right? And things that we need to come back from. Once he starts talking about unity, you then see him open his arms, ready to receive everybody. It doesn't matter what party you're associated with. He was ready for the whole world, the whole United States to come together, and you can see that in his arms and the way that he's using his hands.
So you think that's kind of a subliminal message that he's trying to send to people, that I want to be welcoming and I want to be all-inclusive?
You know, all these people actually work with somebody to help them do this kind of gestures, right? The thing about President Biden that I noticed is that he was very congruent. He's one of those guys that sound a little bit on the casual side when he's talking, and his hands seem to match his gestures. I know that he's scripted, that he's reading a script, but it didn't look like he was doing that necessarily on purpose. He was almost naturally doing, which is what we want to see when it comes to body language, is congruency between what I'm saying and what my body is actually saying. And that's what I saw last night.
You know, I know a lot of people read into color choices, and you know, it's a very subtle thing. I mean, I'm not one of them, but a lot of people do look into that. So what do color choices say about anything, you know, assuming that these people did make color choices intentionally? What did you notice about that?
Oh, they definitely had somebody make these color choices for them. When it comes to something that has such visibility, they absolutely are planning this ahead of time. What I saw last night, Dr. Biden was wearing kind of a bluish dress, which kind of indicates serenity and positive vibes being sent out there. What I saw from Vice President Harris was a purple dress, is what I saw, which it probably symbolizes unity, right? The bringing of the two parties, the blue and the red, into one. I don't think that was chosen at random. I'm pretty sure they plan to symbolize the unity that this new party, this new administration represents in the future.
Isn't that funny? I mean, I look at it and say, "Oh, pretty coat." I don't read into, you know, what the color means.
We all do that, absolutely.
Yeah. All right,
yeah,
Leo,
we all do that, but for this kind of visibility, they absolutely need it.
All right, Leo, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time.